Hello, I am Pravina. Over this course, I have learned so many philosophers from our teachers. Today, I want to share the philosophers and build the shape of the children's in near future. My topic is transformative philosophy of early childhood development. Lev Vygotsky developed a social cultural theory of learning. He introduced the concept of zone of proximal development that argued that children learn best through the social interaction and guidance from adults and make more capable peers. Similarly, Maria Montessori founded the Montessori method of education and believed that the children can learn independently in carefully preparing environment, emphasize self-directed learning, independence, and as well as the respect for the child. Friedrich Froebel is also known as the father of kindergarten. He believed that the play is in a natural way can learn children more. And then similarly, I want to introduce the kindergarten concept and educational play materials. uh, Similarly, likewise, the Rigo Emilia 100 language uh, prepares for 100 language of expression of dancing, singing, painting, and role play, so on, to express their ideas and feelings. And my vision in is every child, regardless of caste, creeds, gender, and ethnicity, they are born equally in rural areas, in city areas, and grown up in the environment where their own curiosity is protected, and the identity was will also respected, and their relationship with each other uh, are also maintained well. And then the maintained well in many of our contexts. Early years of provision is still shaped by inequalities in urban and middle class families, as well as middle class societies. They get stimulating preschool. Rural and marginalized people often get under-resourced and not early care at all. Many philosophies insist ECED is not a private luxury but a public good and a matter of justice also. With closely tied to the UN Convention on the Right of the Child, particularly Article 12, the right to be heard. Similarly, in 29, the education that develop personally and respect for the identity, and also in 31 there is a right to play, so we need to think on that also. And my vision is to build early childhood environment where a mother labs at a home and a community preschool or a primary classroom where there is a care culture are respected and the children's right are hold together for the future of the children's. Similarly, the goals of the early childhood development is the home based, that is 0 to 3. In home, the goal is not a formal teaching, it's a secure attachment, responsive, and caregiving. There is a oral language and sensory experience, parents and grandparents singing, naming, objects, naming the objects, and allowing toddlers to explore mud, water, dough. They are already in an educator's home. And in my own philosophy, it supports on the families with the information and encouragement, not a curriculum to be imposed. Similarly, in preschool, community-based ECED, 3 to 5 years where children go to school, the goal are shifted to guided exploration, builds language, social emotional skill, fine and gross motor development, and early development and patterns are drawn for their development. Similarly, after the 5 to 8 years, the primary education are given to them. The children's the goal is for the children smooth and playful, brave, joyful environment for formal literacy and numeracy. Likewise, children are grown in a competency and curiosity for memorization and for testing for the exam, for the good evaluation. There will be continuity of pedagogy across the preschool and early childhood, early primary patterns more than most systems currently allow them. The pedagogical approaches can be a play-based learning like Vygotsky and Trowell, which are needed because the play how young children process experience, test social rules, and build a symbolic thinking. Likewise, the natural-based or place-based learning is needed because they can reconnect the children with the local ecological seasons of traditional ecological knowledge and builds both cognitive skills as Piaget and the environment steward. They can directly serve by sustainable commitment. Likewise, the art-based approach, rigor Emilia, the 100 language is one of the greatest uh, philosophy has given by Rigo Emilia is that the children express their own thinking, feelings through drawing, movement, music, and singing so that they can express it fully in words. These arts is the form of thinking, not a decoration. And another anti-bias and inclusive pedagogy is needed because in diverse and unequal societies, every years is exactly so that the children begin absorbing messages from who is valued. Likewise, the participatory is needed to set up the questions. They think that why did the seeds not grow, rather than not only receiving the adult answer about them, they can know the fact about the growing of the seeds while planting in the field. Likewise, in collaborating and community-based learning, they can collect culture context children's already learn, and then they deal with the siblings, cousins, neighbors, and other friends in their neighbors. And in this developing active and creative curiosity, curious, critical, and compassionate learners, the children become more active learners because they can move, build, and do not. They will not just sit and receive. They become creative because the art-based and open-ended play give them many languages to express and ideas, not only the correct answer. They can stay curious and make an inquiry so that they can practice for rewarding the questions, the correct answer they have given to the teachers, like who do you think happened, and uh, protect the curious. They become critical thinker because the participatory practice, even at the age of 4, 5, let them the question in the classroom rules, negotiate fairly in the game, and noticed when the story leaves someone out. Likewise, they become compassionate citizen because the anti-biased collaborative pedagogies make them empathy and fairness in daily practice life. Families play a central role in children's development. In my own philosophy, parents and caregivers are equal partners in the children's rather than the simply recipients from the school's informations only. The teachers need to be communicate regularly with the families and invite into the participant in the classroom activities, as well as invite the grandparents and also other communities or people to the school so that they can value their knowledge, their culture, and work together to support the child's learning goals in the classroom activities, so that the communities also feel they are valuable for the school. The local leaders, health worker, artists, the environmental organization, and then culture groups can also contribute meaningful learning experience to the children's. Likewise, the community partners help children to understand the real life issue, while the issue for the children to strengthen their sense of belongingness and have their own identity. Lastly, they can create a strong support system to promote the children's holistic development. The personal reflection is, in my personal reflection, I want to ask that how many of you experience the early care and education in growing up? Who were your primary caregiver at your first years? They may be parents, grandparents, siblings, or neighbors. Was there a formal preschool, or was learning entirely embedded in home or community life? What did you play like you like for you, free, structure, or outer? Similarly, I also want to ask next question, like how you practice and relate to children now as you grown up, but how you see the children over there. Next, I want to ask is how do you practice in the future? In my in my in my sense, I want to build a mother tongue storytelling corner. I want to involve parents and grandparents once a month uh, to make a corner in a month. And also I want to reduce worksheet time in favor of outer inquiry. In conclusion, every child is a right holders of meaning makers and a citizen of their community. In conclusion, I my transformative philosophy of early childhood development is building. Thank you. Thank you for active listening. Thank you.